Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel Moxie DIY in Java. I'm Michelle. Today's video is going to be a part of a 12 Days of Christmas Ornaments video, and I will get into that in a little bit, but for now, grab your cup of coffee or your favorite beverage and join me. Okay, to start this DIY, we're going to separate out the tumbling tower blocks into multiples. I have them listed here, and then I am using Gorilla Wood Hot Glue here. I recommend using either that or regular wood glue on these. It will make them hold much longer. Using Waverly's Antique Wax, I'm going to stain 7 of these, and then I'm going to paint the final 4. Now I'm painting 3 of these white, and the last one will be painted black in a little bit. Here I'm using the white metallic marker from the Dollar Tree, and it did a really good job on this stain, and I'm just drawing different variations of evergreen trees. Now I will be using this red twine, which I think I got from the Dollar Tree, on all of these ornaments, and I'm going to use it as either hangers or as little accessories to the ornaments. This one is going to look like a tree with a tree skirt, and I'm just using leftover bits of some garland I had on hand, and I don't show it here, but I do put another bit of greenery on top of this to make it look a little more three-dimensional rather than flat. Now all I'm doing with these ribbons is just doing a pleating effect around the greenery of the garland, and that's to make it look like it's a tree skirt. I'm calling these my shutter ornaments, and all I'm doing is using the wooden stickers that Dollar Tree offers pretty much every season, and I'm removing the foam adhesive sticker and just gluing them straight onto the wooden blocks. Here I'm just aging all of the white pieces with a little bit of black paint, and I will age the black piece with a little bit of white paint later on. For the top hat ornaments, I use ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and then the thin ribbon that I use on this one is from Hobby Lobby. And then I just use a little bit of greenery and some twine and then call it good. This terrarium is from the Dollar Tree and by far is one of my favorite things that they sell because it looks like it's worth way more than $1. And these peg dolls are from Hobby Lobby. It's from their woodpile collection. We'll be using various sizes to represent Mary, Joseph, and baby Jesus. And this bead is going to be our riser for some greenery. And speaking of the greenery, this is the frosted fern. I believe that's what it's called, also from the Dollar Tree. I chose to use this conical shape, but you can use whatever type of greenery you would like. Okay, first things first, we're going to glue down our Joseph peg doll. I am placing him as far to the front left as I can. And the reason we're gluing him down first is so that way I know that I have enough space for Mary in the front and the tree in the back. You'll see here in just a second. We're going to hold off on gluing down baby Jesus for now, so that way we can put the snow in the base. We're going to mix equal parts of Plaid's Mod Podge and Epsom salt. And you're going to mix it to about a Play-Doh type consistency or wet sand. Basically, you want it to hold its shape if you squeeze it together. Now I'm just throwing it in there pretty much and then mashing it down to the bottom of the terrarium. Now, when Mod Podge and Epsom salt dry, it becomes very sturdy. You almost have to chip it off if you want it to come off, which is great for this because it means that that snow is going nowhere once it is dry. Now that I like how it looks, we're going to let it dry for a few hours. To add baby Jesus, I'm just going to put some glue on his head and his body and then glue him to his parents. If you would like to connect with me in other ways, I am also on Instagram, Rumble, and Pinterest, and you can find me at Moxie DIY Java. I always love talking to you guys, so be sure to say hi. And here it is, all ready to hang in a tree or sit on your tiered tray. This video is part of the 12 Days of Christmas DIY Ornaments playlist, and it is hosted by my friends Jackie of Crafting in Mimi's World and Melissa of Melissa Makes It DIY. Please consider going and checking out their channels. They're really creative and they really have some great unique ideas. I will also have the link in the description box as well as links to their channels as well. These alpha blocks I found from the Dollar Tree and I pre-painted them with an ivory color. I haven't seen these lately, but you can also find them at Hobby Lobby or Walmart. These are about an inch tall. So I stacked 3 and glued them, and then I decided that I wanted to have 6 instead of 3. And I'll be using this scrapbook stack and I love it. It is so pretty. During Christmas time, our home kind of transforms into almost like a log cabin, so this is right up my alley. I felt like this pattern was made exactly for what I wanted to do because I already had separate patterns that coordinated together and fit the blocks, so win. So what I'm going to do is use 2 sheets because there's only 5 designs, and so we're going to be duplicating one of them, and we're going to cut them out into 1-inch strips. Before I glue them down, I want to get them sized and scored. Now, I like to have the seam on the corner of the block. It's just personal preference. You can definitely have that seam wherever, but I do want to make sure that all of my seams are towards what I am considering the back of the blocks. So if I have a seam on this one, on this corner, then I want the seam to be close to that back corner of the previous block. I hope that makes sense. So here I'm just making sure that the seams basically line up on all 6 blocks. Now we can leave these as is, but I wanted to put a word on here. I am using these craft stickers from Target a few years ago, and these rub-on transfers are from the Dollar Tree. These rub-on transfers are another one of my favorites from the Dollar Tree. Have you tried them yet? Now I'll add some ribbons and some greenery. I'm just clipping off little pieces of this same frosted fern that I used in the terrarium, and I'm only using 3 ribbons. I show 4 here, but I only end up using 3. I'm just attaching this greenery in a wide upside down V. This can absolutely be hung as an ornament. All you would need to do is add a loop of your favorite ribbon and you have a hanger. It's coffee break time, and you are getting a quick sneak peek of my Christmas coffee bar. Today's coffee is the salted caramel from Bones Coffee. Okay, to start this DIY, we're going to use the terracotta color of this clay. Now, make sure you wear gloves with this, otherwise you will have Oompa Loompa hands. Just trust me. These little buttons came from Hobby Lobby also, and they were little cookie cutters, and I knew exactly what I wanted to do with these. So all I'm doing is I'm taking the clay and I'm smashing it down inside the metal version of the cookie cutters, and I'm going to let it dry inside the cookie cutters and then leave them as is. Now that they're all cleaned up, we're going to let them dry overnight. These are metal tags from the Dollar Tree, and to me they scream cookie sheet. So we're going to adhere the little clay pieces that we made earlier, as well as the colored versions of the cookie cutters, and we're going to create a little cookie sheet with cookies on it. Now, I don't know about you, but when I'm making cookies, flour is literally everywhere. So we're going to use this white paint to create the look of flour splatters just throughout the sheet. It's not going to be all over, just in certain spots and on the cookie cutters as well. This is an almost dry brush. What I'm doing is I'm just softening some of the brush strokes just to make it look a little more like flour. Once the backing is attached, I'm going to add a printable that says Baking Spirits Bright. I think this would look so cute on a bottle of wine or with some homemade cookies as a hostess gift. To prepare these ice skates, I removed the snowflake embellishment and the twine. As you can see, the snowflake broke a little bit, but that's okay, we'll make it work. To get the blades silver, I figured it would be easier for me at least to use a paint marker. And this is one from the Dollar Tree. It's the silver color, and it was by far way easier for me than using paint. Now for the heel and the sole of the skate, I am using the same furniture marker. It's the walnut color, and I'm just coloring that in. This paper I have had in my stash for eons, and it's neutral enough that I can leave it up all season. So it's not just a Christmas thing, we can leave it up for all of winter too. So as you can see, all I'm doing is I'm just putting it on the boot of the ice skate. Now here I'm making vertical cuts where the boot curves, so that way I can fold this part of the paper up, which will make it easier for cutting. Now that the paper is cut, I'm going to use the same furniture marker to go along those cut edges. And here I'm going to make where the laces are going. I make 7 circles, which will eventually be the holes, and I'm going to use my Crop-A-Dile to get those punched out. This thing is awesome. If you don't have one, ask for it for Christmas or get it yourself, because these things are sweet. To differentiate the place where the laces are going and the rest of the boot, I'm just going to go over the lace area with this white metallic marker. Now it does not do full coverage, it's still somewhat transparent, but it is enough of a difference. If you are enjoying what you're seeing today, I hope that you will consider subscribing to my channel. I will be doing a 1K giveaway, so be on the lookout for a video explaining all about it. To create the laces band at the toe of the shoe, we're going to just loop it around and then glue it to the back of the ornament. For the top of the boot, we're going to use the bottom of the beanie, and we're going to just glue that right in place. I'm going to cut excess all around so that way I can fold it and create a cleaner edge. I've repeated everything with the second one, and now it's time to put them together and accessorize. As you saw in the beginning, the original snowflake did break, but I'm going to use that to my advantage, and we're using this little snowflake decal from the Dollar Tree, and we're going to layer both of these and glue them on. I decided I didn't need all 4 of these laces, so I'm going to glue one onto each boot in place and then cut it off. To make a pretty bow, I'm just going to use the last of this lace ribbon from the Dollar Tree. I found this piece of cardboard in my stash, and I'd say it's probably about 10 inches where I'm wrapping it right now. And I'm just wrapping and wrapping until I like thickness of the, we're going to make essentially a large tassel. And now I'm going to put this loop through the bead. It took a little doing. I had to poke it with the scissors and some other things, but it finally came through, and you're just going to pull it a bit through, not all the way, and then knot it around that tassel. And this will be the hanger that will be your angel's head, and also you'll be able to hang it on the tree or wherever else. On top of the bead, I'm going to make a double knot to keep that in place. Now this is just some angel wing cutouts that I made from an old box that was going to be recycled, and we're going to glue it to the inside of that muffler. There's a felt side and a faux fur side, so we're gluing it to the felt side. And as you can see, once you cut it, it becomes two pieces. So we're going to glue those pieces together where the wings are, so that way they don't come apart when we get them onto our angel. Now when I put glue on these parts of the wings, some of the glue did show through, and to fix that I just kind of smushed some of the faux fur around that glue to cover it up, and it did a really good job of camouflaging it. These mini craft sticks are from Walmart, and I'm just going to glue those to give the wings a little bit more stability. I was originally going to use decals on these, but I found these gorgeous vintage printouts from thegraphicsfairy.com. I will link that down below. They have some amazing printouts and graphics. So I just sized these to the bottle caps, and I'm going to glue them inside, but we're not going to use both of the holes. We're only going to use one, but the other one is going to be covered up by some greenery. I got both these greenery picks at the Dollar Tree, and I wanted to use elements from both of them in each of my bottle caps. And I specifically wanted this holly leaf from this one because Santa is holding hollies. So I am just going to glue these in, and as I showed you earlier, the print is offset slightly so that way the greenery does not cover up much of it. And I'm just going to put this stuff on. And then I wanted to blend the graphic a little more, so I'm going to use this color Steel by Waverly chalk paint, and I'm just going to dab it on. There's really no rhyme or reason to how I'm doing it. I'm just having it go over the outline of the graphic. I'm going to put a dab of hot glue under the knot of this ribbon just so it doesn't get pulled out too easily. I hope you enjoyed this compilation of all the different ornaments I have made throughout the season, and I hope that you have very happy holidays and a Merry Christmas, and until I see you in the next video, take care.